Welcome back from the break. You're still watching NTV Sport Nights, and joining me are champions, should I say, Weatherhead, gentlemen from Weatherhead Hockey Club. We have the chairman, Mr. Stephen Jjuuko, Kwagala, and a midfielder, Asharf. I said Tumwesigye. You're Tumwesigye. Yes. Good evening. Welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for these wonderful trophies that I see here. You know, you have won it 4 times now, I believe.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So I'll start with you, Mr. Chairman. What does winning it this year, what does it mean to you?
So
a 4th title.
So yeah, this year was really important. Last year we lost it at the death. I think we lost to Wananchi, our biggest rival. So it was important to win again this year because it makes us happy, to put it simply.
Okay, it makes you happy.
Yeah.
And then I'll ask Asharf, to you as a midfielder, I don't know, how long have you played with Weatherhead?
Since 2011,
Since
when
2011.
I was in Form 1.
Wow! So all those years you've been with Weatherhead, and so what does this mean to you personally?
It means a lot. It means family. It means everything in the sports world. Yeah, Weatherhead is family. Yeah.
And there are 2 I haven't introduced, or maybe you'd like to introduce. Which trophy is for which tournament?
Who is who?
Who is who here?
This is Uganda Cup, and this is the Uganda National League. Okay. Yeah. No, me, I'm just happy.
No, because I mean, you're even struggling to express yourself. It explains the happiness and the excitement. How huge is it to be a national hockey champion in Uganda? What comes with being a national hockey champion?
One, it's prestige. You make history. Yeah, it goes down into archives. And 2, you gain respect. And 3, you are scouted. Personally, I'm a professional. I've been playing semi-pro in Italy. Yeah, so winning comes with a lot. Yeah.
Does it also probably book tickets to go and take part in regional competitions and stuff like that, or we are not yet at that level?
Yes, actually, now that we are winners, we're going to go to Bulawayo in Zimbabwe, yeah, where the top African hockey clubs contest. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll ask the chairman. You said you lost it last year. So what was the turning point this year? What motivation? How did you motivate the players? How did you inspire them to this win?
Yeah, so as their team manager, I reminded them of the loss. Last year we lost our heads in the final game. I think we got 3 yellow cards.
Must have been painful.
It was painful. I was sitting on the bench and I couldn't stop some of our players from losing their mind. So it was important. We had tested success in 2021 and we hadn't, so we thought we would retain the trophies. Unfortunately, we had a bad start, lost to our biggest rivals at the beginning of the league, and lost to them again in the league and then in the Uganda Cup. So the motivation was there. Don't do it again. It was that simple.
Don't do it again. And then Asharf, with this win, you've talked already about some of the benefits, being scouted, prestige and all that. How will you build on this, really? How will you encourage yourself or keep motivated to go for higher or more, or to do a back-to-back win for this coming season?
All I can say is that we have to keep training harder and harder and harder and harder, because sports is a result-oriented industry. You need results. We just need to keep working hard, motivating ourselves, looking at these trophies, and we're like, they have to stay in our cabin. So there's too much at the back that we have to do to keep this thing back to back, and it's our motive this year We have to do it, and we're going to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe to the chairman, feel free to chip in. 27 years in the league, and I was trying to probably look at what everyone loves following most, which is football. And in Uganda alone, in those 27 years, I don't know how many football teams have surfaced and disappeared because of one reason or the other. The biggest one of them being financial and all that.
Yeah.
How has Weatherheads been able to sustain themselves and survive for those 27 years in a sport that is not as lucrative as we probably would want it to be? I mean, today we are only discussing the men, but you also have a ladies team, and I understand they're not the only two teams you have or running or looking after.
So the biggest thing Weatherhead has, we call ourselves a family. Asharf mentioned it. So people chip in their resources and time. People like me still,
for the love of the game.
For the love of the game. So that's all our motivation. So we do a lot of team bonding outside the sports. This weekend we're at a celebration for the double champions. So that's it. We treat ourselves as a family. We chipped in for our players during COVID. So even in a sport that doesn't play, I think these guys were lucky. They got some money from a sponsor. For the first time, the league winner got something. Yeah.
Okay. Who is the league sponsor, if you don't mind us asking?
Innovation Consortium. So they chipped in with $1 million shillings for the double champions. So it's hard to convince people to give away their resources, but we keep trying, and we're really trying hard with our social media as well to put our name out there and maybe get more. The bigger you're following, the more the sponsors listen. So that's something we're doing very actively.
Then maybe I'll also ask now, beyond the sport, what is the objective of Weatherheads Hockey Club, or what was the objective of Weatherheads Hockey Club when you guys were starting out beyond the sport itself?
Okay, Weatherhead started when I was in, I think, senior 2. So
you said it's 27 years old.
Yeah, it shows how old I am. I still pick up a hockey stick once in a while, so I still play. So the founders told us they were in senior 6 vacation. They had been playing in school, in King's College, Budo, and they wanted to start their own hockey club. They didn't want to join any other teams. So audaciously they started a hockey club. So beyond that, we're now looking at having a Weatherhead home. We've collected in the region of about 20 million shillings. So we want to do a sustainable project where it's not just a field, but we have a hostel, a hotel, and then a recreation ground that can host weddings or maybe shows.
Something that can be income generating.
Yeah, that can be income generating. So we're actively looking for land for that, because where we play, we're not sure what summer we're doing. So we're not waiting, we're thinking about that. So we've been collecting money. Yeah, I think we have about 20 million. So we're looking beyond the sport. Then to support our players, if they can be employed in our Weatherhead home, then it will be good for us. Yeah.
So what does it take to join hockey beyond the secondary schools where it is mostly played? And maybe I'll also ask, how widespread is it in our schools, in our Uganda schools?
Yeah, so I think to join hockey, you just go to Lugogo, next to MTN Arena. I'm serious. I'm serious. So
of course, I mean, it's the only hockey ground we have in Uganda.
No, but hockey is played all over. I think they play in nationals about...
Yeah, but I mean standard grounds, I think it's the only one we have.
Yeah, it's only standard ground. Most people play on grass pitches, so hockey teams compete with football teams. In my school, we used to compete with the rugby players to share the field. So you just need maybe 1.5 acres of fairly flat ground with little or no grass. And you pick up... the equipment is a bit expensive.
Yeah, actually, that's what I was asking. How expensive is a hockey kit? Maybe for the regular player and the goalkeeper, because the goalkeeper is always too suited up. Yeah,
so a really good hockey stick is about $100. A goalkeeper's kit is about 4 million shillings.
And a standard goalkeeper kit?
Yes. course, we can't afford the standard ones, but you can get one for about 4 million shillings. And then you need knuckle guards, shin guards, because it's a bit of, if you don't pay attention, it can be a dangerous sport, and mouth guards. So a fully kitted hockey player could be wearing about 500,000 shillings.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's in Uganda.
In Uganda.
By Ugandan standards.
He's played in Italy, so I'm sure it's more expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, we could ask, I want to know, how did you end up in Italy? You said you were scouted. So do we have Italians looking at, coming here to observe our hockey games?
Actually, the coach who scouted me and my other colleagues, my other playmates and teammates to Italy, he was a former national team coach. Yeah. But before that, before he became a national team coach, no, actually he was. Then we failed to go to the tournament. That was in 2019. But of course he had scouted us already. So he knew who to take, he knew who was good, he knew who could deliver. So we end up in Italy because actually it was national team test series. There's what they call test series in the Federation of International Hockey Settings. You play against a certain country in your region. We played against Kenya.
Those are the games that were in Nairobi?
Yes, and we beat Kenya like 2 times and we drew once. So we got some ranks high, and then the coach was so happy about it, and the next thing we went to Italy. So I was the man of the series. Yeah, I've been man of the MVP. I've been too much, even in Italy.
Oh, please.
Yes. So but as he has said, you know, standards differ here and in Italy.
Maybe we shouldn't go to Italy, because recently the national team was also in Pretoria for those Olympic qualifiers. Let's just compare the standards of the African continent. How far away are we from these other African teams?
We are far away. And when it comes to South Africa,
now you understand why I didn't want to take you to Italy. Let's keep it
It's a pie in the sky.
I mean, but South Africa is literally like...
No, I mean, there were other teams that were playing in those qualifiers. So as compared to these, with the exception of South Africa, these other teams.
Okay, exception of South Africa, Egypt, Ghana, and Nigeria, I should say, and actually most teams. To be honest, Uganda is my country and I love it, but the standard was very low. We were down.
And what do we need to do to improve the standard?
We need sports investors, we need seriousness, we need effective governance and leadership.
You know, those are the same things we keep on hearing from almost every game, every sports discipline in Uganda. But Chairman, so what are you doing to try and address some of these infrastructure, governance, maybe not so much in hockey, but yeah, infrastructure, finances, funding, you know, having him, you know, return to Uganda and not become an Italian citizen? Or you've been given the opportunity and you've turned it down because you said you love Uganda?
No, but I've never dreamed to be Italian. No.
So to answer that question, it's a difficult one. We are a club that's a member of an association that's supposed to do these things for us.
Yes.
So we are trying to push for ourselves. Last year, this time we're playing in the equivalent of the Africa Champions League in Nairobi. Used our own resources. Our rivals didn't make it there, yet it was just Nairobi. We didn't even watch the final game because we didn't have money to spend one more night. So we, like Asharf mentioned, we need to be serious. No one is going to come to Lugogo. I once sat in a meeting with a sponsor and I told him we are playing our biggest rivals on Sunday. He told me I've not seen it anywhere. So even hockey players don't tell people enough about themselves having games. We don't even make enough noise on social media or in the newspapers. So we have to be we have to push ourselves before we even approach anyone to help us. So to me, that's what's lacking. We're not pushing internally within the clubs. We have I could say bitter rivalries that are not helping the sport. We have umpires that still play hockey.
Yeah, that happens in Suba, that's me, because you go to volleyball and all the other places, you have umpires who are active players, and it just doesn't make sense.
So all those things have to go away. And there are enough retired players who come to watch the sports.
So then what's the problem? Is it political? Is that where the governance comes in? Why would you have an umpire in active sport?
I think we are not actively pushing for these things. As
the regulations are not clear.
Yeah. As clubs, we have to unite as one and tell the association this has to stop. So people are in WhatsApp groups complaining about results on Sunday morning, Monday, but then the next weekend an umpire have written a letter about not umpiring your game because it's obviously biased, is going to be given your game just to annoy you. So I spend a lot of time telling Asharf, please.
And what he's saying is very valid. Recently we were in a volleyball WhatsApp group. At 10 a.m. on Monday morning, somebody asks for the weekend results. At 10 a.m. on Monday morning. And the results are put in the group at lunchtime. So like you had games Saturday, Sunday, somebody has to come at 10 a.m. to ask for results, but then the results are shared at lunchtime. Then there are the same people who are saying we are not getting enough media coverage and all that, but also the people in charge are actually not doing enough to create awareness or to let the media know about what activities are happening, because at the end of the day, it is the media that is also supposed to probably tell the wider audience what is going on. But probably a little bit away from Weatherheads.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about an individual, a colleague of ours who makes a lot of noise, Tumwesigye. I know he's attached to your bitter rivals, Kampala Hockey Club. How good is he as a hockey coach?
Kampala is not our rival. Their men have not won a league trophy.
No, okay. The person of Maktum, how good is he as a hockey coach?
I've not lost a game to him.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Last game we beat them 4-1. So
with him on the touchline.
I wasn't looking at the other touchline, but I.
You didn't know who was there.
So I think he's fairly good. His women's team has won 4 trophies. So I think he
recently returned with the bronze from the African game on the African.
Playing very simple teams. So they were in Nairobi last year playing Egyptian teams. I'm sure. But then they came 3rd in the league as a men. So. Another bronze in the league for them. So maybe.
So if we are looking for his numbers, we should look at how well he's doing with the ladies, not the men.
For the men, for the men he's struggling.
So talking about the ladies have won the title 4 times in a row, which is, a great achievement. So what are you doing to continue building, I don't want to say the girl child, but hockey amongst girls?
Yeah, so our ladies team, so we have 2 ladies teams, one that has a 6-time champion, they won 4 in a row. So we have a very young team that we're building. We're rebuilding, so we moved the very successful ladies into a more senior team because they don't have the time to train. And then they've done well. They came 2nd to Kampala, I think about 6 points off the lead. And Wananchi came 3rd, who are probably the record champions. So we're building them, and we're planning to sign a few players to improve them. And then we have ladies that coach in schools and are scouting for good players. So I think we're on the upward trend, and I see them winning the title in maybe the next 3 years. Okay.
Yeah. So now we have given you a platform. So your closing remarks, Asharf and Chairman, tell our audience what they should do to get more involved, how often you play, when they can come, when the next season begins. So we give you that opportunity to broadcast hockey in Uganda.
So I'll go first. Hockey is as good as football. Similar side, no offside, so that should be very exciting. Asharf's team scored 136 goals, averaging 7.5 goals and conceding only 12 in 18 league games. So it is free-flowing and a very enjoyable sport. So we urge everyone to come and watch hockey. The league begins with a shield on 3rd, then the women's third match. Then the women's...
how many teams make up the league, maybe for the men?
I think for the men there are 10 league teams, and the women there are 8 teams.
You play 2 rounds?
Yeah, we play 2 rounds. We don't... there's an issue with the pitch. It usually has some activities there. So we now only... But we used to play 4 rounds at some point. So, yeah, so the women's cup is, I think, 8th to 10th match. Then the league proper begins on 16th. I think there's a fairly exciting fixture, Kampala, who came 3rd against the 2nd in Wananchi. Then Weatherhead teams will play on Sunday, 17th March. So I urge everyone to just come and enjoy hockey.
Yeah, to add on my chairman's remarks, we call upon everyone to come and support hockey here in Uganda, especially Weatherhead. We have the biggest base.
Especially the Abodonians.
No, actually...
Since that's the foundation.
Yeah, it is
actually,
the foundation, but now there are very few. We have smarkists, we have guys from Kakungulu and every other school. I urge everyone to come and support hockey. We're going to do our best as players, management, to put the awareness to the world through social media, through meeting people in person. And the other thing, as a Ugandan, I would want to talk about Uganda hockey also, that may they improve in creating awareness of the sport in the country and beyond, and also try to learn from every opportunity that we get to move out as a country and implement things here so that we can move forward. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Asharf and Stephen. Thank you so much for talking to us about hockey today. We will be taking a short break, but before we do, the Legends Marathon, April 6th is here. So please, you are able to now purchase your tickets online. So please go ahead, legendsmarathon.com, to purchase your ticket.
Hello, I'm Flavia Okecho, captain Uganda Gazelles and JKL Lady Dolphins Basketball Club. I'm here to tell you about the big Legends Marathon happening on 6th of April this year. Come out and support your sportsmen and women and let us make history. I will be there, you should be there, everyone should be there. Don't just talk about the change, be the change. See you there, April 6th, Marathon Legends Marathon. Let's go!